Hello, I'm Jerry Fort. I'm going to do a reading of a spooky story from this book here by Michael Teitelbaum. It's called The Scary States of America, 50 Weird and Terrifying Stories, one from each state based on true events. So I was going to go ahead and choose the state, but I think I'm going to try it just randomly. That's why I didn't put it on here, so I can, kind of tell when I go to upload what state is which state is what you know what I mean, which is which. But so I'm just gonna do it here in front of you, so you can kind of see I'm just gonna randomly pick a state. Okay. Nevada. Psychic hero. Psychic hero. Okay, a lot of the stories I get are pretty wild and fun to read, but sometimes I can tell that people are deeply affected by their experiences with the supernatural, and it can take a long time to recover from the trauma of an unexplained event. A man from Nevada sent me this story, and yes, the psychic element did creep me out. But I also felt bad for the guy. I could tell that his weird experience brought up a lot of painful memories for him. Here's what he wrote. My name is Bruce Edwards, and I'm no hero. You might not agree once you read my story, but trust me, if anything, I've always felt that I was a coward, even when I was a kid. When I was 11, my house caught fire in the middle of the night. I woke up to smoke and flames everywhere. I panicked. My heart froze, and terror gripped every part of my being. I wasn't thinking straight. Who would be? I know that now, but there's still no excuse for what I did. I thought only of getting myself out of the house. I dashed down the burning stairs and raced out the front door. I was standing outside looking up at the burning house. That's when I remembered the rest of my family. My parents stumbled through the blazing doorway. My father carried the limp body of my 8-year-old sister, Jenny, in his arms. My parents were in the hospital for a while. They haven't spoken up as soon as I had when my parents were in the hospital for a while. They hadn't woken up as soon as I had and were exposed to huge amounts of smoke as they fought their way to my sister's room to get her. Jenny died from smoke inhalation and burns. I was the only one who didn't suffer. I was a wreck for months, even after my parents were better and moved us to a new house. I blame myself for not thinking about Jenny. In the 30 years since the fire, not a day has gone by that I haven't thought of her. And then there are the dreams. All these years, I've had a recurring dream about the night Jenny died. It begins the same way. I'm 11. I wake up to the smell of smoke. I panic and run from the house. I feel relief when I get out. Then I see my father carrying my limp body from the blazing inferno. In the dream, Jenny's okay. It's me who died. Sometimes I wish it had really happened that way. At this point, you may be asking yourself what all this has to do with the paranormal. Well, one day not long ago, I had a different dream. It was also about a fire, but this time I was the hero. I work at a chemical plant, developing rocket engines and highly explosive fuels. Because these experiments involve hazardous materials, we have a lot of safety precautions. All the engineers wear flame retardant coats. In my dream, however, I'm sitting at my desk in only a short-sleeved shirt. Suddenly, I hear a thunderous explosion in the next lab, where my friend Sandra Reimer is working. Rushing from my office, I'm horrified to discover Sandra's lab engulfed in flames. I dash into the inferno and spot her. Her entire body appears to be on fire. Moving swiftly, I grab her and carry her to the plant's safety shower, where I douse her with water, putting out the flames and saving her life. Only after Sandra is safe do I notice that my own clothes are on fire. I jump into the shower just before the flames reach my skin. When I woke up from this dream, I was really puzzled. Why would I, after all these years, suddenly dream about being a hero? It made me feel guilty to imagine being a hero, even if only in a dream, when I had failed my family. And then I had the dream again, exactly the same as the first in every detail, but the dream made even less sense. It was odd that Sandra was alone. There were almost always 3 other co-workers in the lab with her. It was also strange that I was only wearing a short-sleeved shirt and not my flame-retardant coat. And still the dream kept coming back, the way the dream about Jenny had for all those years. Then one day, a few months later, I was in an office next to my lab doing some paperwork. The air conditioning wasn't working properly, and since there were no hazardous materials in the office, I pulled off my coat and was working in a short-sleeved shirt. I didn't think anything of it at the time. Boom! Suddenly, a violent explosion shook the building. I leaped from my chair and ran to the door, my heart pounding like it was going to burst from my chest. Sweat immediately began pouring down my face. I smelled the sickly, acrid odor of burning chemicals. Smoke choked my lungs, and I gasped for breath. No, I thought. Well, he was just thinking it, so it wouldn't go that way, right? Flashing back to the horrid events of my childhood. Not again. This can't be happening again. Then I thought of Sandra. 2 doors down, she was working on an experiment using highly explosive fuels. The dream. It's impossible. Could the dream be coming true? I tore from the office, blinded by the smoke, overwhelmed by the sounds of screaming. Panicked people fled the building, rushing past me, running away from the fire. I headed right into the heart of the inferno, and I wasn't going to leave alone. I kicked open the door of Sandra's lab. My eyes and throat burned. I waved the smoke away, only to see Sandra's face, arms, and legs engulfed in flames. Her plastic goggles had melted into her hair. She was sprawled across her lab table, and she wasn't moving. Struggling through the thick black smoke and searing toxic flames, I scooped Sandra into my arms, exactly as I had done in the dream, and turned back toward the door. A wall of flames towered over my head, blocking the exit. My vision blurred, my skin burned. I lowered my head and charged through the curtain of fire, not thinking, not feeling, just running. My legs pumped furiously as I pushed forward blindly, pain ripping across my skin. I stumbled into the safety shower, still holding Sandra's limp body. I cried as the water rained down over us, and then I collapsed. I woke up slowly, not knowing where I was. Am I home? Did I have another of my dreams? I forced my eyes open and saw bandages covering my arms. This was no dream. I tried to sit up, but fell back in pain. My vision cleared, and I realized that I was in a hospital bed. I later learned that I had burns over a large part of my body, but I would live. Doctor, I called out when I saw that I was not alone in the room. The doctor hurried to my bedside. Sandra Reimer, she was with me. Is she... I couldn't finish. She's alive, the doctor said, smiling. She's still in intensive care, but she's going to make it, thanks to you. I breathed a deep sigh of relief. This time was different. Oh, excuse me. This time someone would live because of me. Sandra and I each spent about 6 months in the hospital recovering from our burns. It turned out that at the moment of the explosion, 2 of her co-workers were on a coffee break. The 3rd ran from the lab as soon as the explosion occurred. That's why Sandra was alone. I still credit the strange dream for giving me the courage to believe that I could save someone. Not long after I got out of the hospital, I had another dream. This one was about me and my sister, Jenny, playing together as young children. This time, there was no fire. And that was Nevada. Nevada. All right, let's mark that out. I'm marking them out as I read them. I think I've been through Nevada while traveling when I was a kid, but okay. Well, I thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. If you're into paranormal type events, type situations, type things, you collect paranormal books and movies, and you like, reading about that kind of stuff, get one of these for your collection. Buy a copy of Michael Teitelbaum's book here. I thank you all for watching. I think I already said that. I'm going to say it again. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. See you on the next one. Bye.